Of those nuclear weapons. Now, Senator John McCain has a hard road ahead to try and win, of course, African-American votes.
Speaking to the NAACP could be the best way to win over some of those votes. And today's topic, expanding education opportunities for kids who are failing in schools.
If I'm elected president, school choice for all who want it, an expansion of opportunity scholarships and alternative certification for teachers will be part of a serious agenda of education reform.
And then there's this, a Washington newspaper issuing its own response to that New Yorker caricature of Barack Obama. Take a look at this one out today. John McCain in a wheelchair, drooling, with wife Cindy handing him a handful of meds. There's a portrait of Dick Cheney over the mantle, the Constitution burning in the fireplace. And joining us now to talk about all of this is 19X News political analyst and Hiram College professor Jason Johnson. He's live in Cincinnati, where he has been attending the NAACP convention. Jason, thanks for joining us again. First, to the caricatures, to the cartoons. This response from the Washington paper, is it a fair tit for tat, if you will?
You know, it's tit for tat, but the reality is there's no real argument anymore. Barack Obama said it was inappropriate. John McCain said it was inappropriate. I don't think this is something that either one of the candidates really want to be involved in. Negative caricatures have a long and storied history in the United States. I think both campaigns would really want this to just end and die so they can continue trying to win the election.
It should be pointed out that there's no way that this caricature is going to get the exposure that the New Yorker cover did with featuring Obama. Now to a McCain speech. The Wire reports all say that Senator McCain was received warmly. You were there. Tell us how he really was received.
John McCain was received warmly initially. One of the things that's often not reported is the fact that John McCain has a tendency to hold spontaneous Q&As, and that's what he did after his speech today. After he spoke, he said, all right, now I'm opening it up to questions, which was a surprise to his staff and everyone at the NAACP convention. And the kindest words that I heard describing the Q&A were train wreck. There were lots of people who didn't get to answer their questions. They felt that John McCain's responses were dissatisfying. So while his initial speech was fine, the Q&A did not work at all.
So he is the first high-ranking Republican to speak to the convention in a long time. Do you think he's really going to get any credit for that when it comes to getting votes?
He would have had more credit if he had actually come last year. John McCain made a good point of saying, hey, look, I'm sorry I missed the convention last year. My campaign was having a great deal of difficulty. It was imploding, and he got some light laughter with that. But the fact of the matter is, people are concerned, and justifiably, that he's just showing up because it's an election year. Now, if John McCain is elected president of the United States and he's back at the NAACP next year, that could make a huge difference. But right now, it's the silly season. He's here because he's worried about the fact that he's only getting 1% of the black vote.
Yeah, a Quinnipiac University study shows that Obama led McCain among black voters 94% to 1%. After that speech, will the numbers change at all, Jason?
I don't think so. And again, I think it's going to have a lot to do with whether or not the footage of the Q&A gets out there. There were a lot of voters who didn't get to talk. There was a group of Native Americans in full dress who were actually at the convention trying to ask John McCain questions, and his own staff shooed them away. I don't think he won over any votes. I think that initially he was doing well. He said positive things about Obama. He made jokes that people wanted to hear, but then he just really, the Straight Talk Express went off the tracks in a very bad way.
Really? So how badly did this Q&A get? I mean, he was making the effort to answer questions. I mean, were people overly critical? Did he not answer their questions? I mean, what was it like?
I don't think it was that he didn't answer their questions. I think people were first frustrated that there was no explanation. When John McCain's speech finished, people were getting up and leaving. And then he said, oh, by the way, I'm going to answer questions. His staff wasn't prepared. The NAACP wasn't prepared. They only had one microphone that they had to run around to multiple people. So the whole thing appeared really disorganized, and people were frustrated. Had he just left afterwards, it would have been fine. But if you're going to offer a Q&A, you need to give people the opportunity to actually ask questions and get those questions answered successfully.
All right. Jason Johnson at the NAACP convention, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you.